Let's Talk Pointing with Claire Hart. Claire, thank you for joining us. I'm about to say good morning. I think it's just turned good afternoon. Come what may, hope you're keeping warm. It's been a bit of a challenging start to the year for racing under rules. So to the pointing world as well, I guess.
Yes, it's been a very chilly 10 days. Luckily today, Ampton point to point goes ahead. And tomorrow down in Weybridge in Cornwall. We did lose Sheriff Hutton in the north tomorrow, but that is scheduled to go ahead next weekend. So yes, it's been a challenging week, but all systems go. I'm
going to come to your article. You wrote at racingtv.com a week or so ago regarding the different types of riders. So I want to bring that up in a few moments' time. Enjoyed reading that. But we were treated to a bit of a class angle, I think it's fair to say, winning at Taunton on Thursday. The first Hunter Chase of the season, Unexpected Party, winning for the first time since his Cheltenham Festival success pushing 2 years ago.
Yes, I think Thursday was a brilliant Hunter Chase. And actually, for me, really, you know, the first three, you've got all sort of different situations there. You know, obviously Unexpected Party, high class under rules, winner of the Grand Annual. You know, there still could be some big days ahead of him, certainly within the Hunter Chase field. But what was really lovely, you know, the third horse is a horse that's only won a maiden, trained by Rachel Bartlett down in the south, and, you know, he ran well above expectation. The second horse, you know, once was a very good high-class horse with Willie Mullins, trained in Lambourne. You know, he ran beautifully, you know, the other day, but I know there's been a backstory to him and he's had his problems. So it was just a great race involving lots of different people, you know, 9 runners and people from all walks of life. You know, I spoke to Dan yesterday, Skelton, and he's such a supporter of the Hunter Chase route, for the horses' benefit. You know, like he said, he ran an amazing race back in the autumn at Carlisle, but the handicap is not going to drop him. So by running in some Hunter Chases, he might get some good days ahead. And, you know, Dan's always been a keen supporter of the Hunter Chasing. And for a young jockey like Heidi Palin, you know, it's her learning her job before she potentially goes conditional one day. Yeah.
So there's two sort of sides to this. One, you've got, as I mentioned, a class act like he is, and certainly was a couple of years ago, winning this. But on the other side of things, do certain competitors, you know, lesser known ones, younger ones, see Dan Skelton running a horse like this on Thursday and really sort of relish the exposure it gives everything, and also the chance of taking one like that on?
I think there's two sides to it. Having spoken to Rachel Bartlett, and also to Nikki Henton, who trained the second horse, you know, they said, God, you know, it is overwhelming turning up and you're against Dan Skelton. But for them to come away with a second and a third against a top trainer, great for them, you know, and brilliant for their horse. And I just think it adds that it's so inclusive to everybody. And I don't think we should be afraid of the trainers that are running them and exploiting our Hunter Chasing, which ultimately is the road to the Cheltenham Fox Hunters and a good pointers to go and run. You know, we can't be afraid of them. And Thursday just proved that, you know, a good horse, a Jet of Our Own, he ran under par for whatever reason. Fred didn't really seem, you know, they haven't drawn any great conclusions from that run yet. But, you know, he ran under par. Unfortunately, Zach Baker, the Ed Walker trained horse, foul, 3 out. You know, it just, the race changed dimension. And it meant that the underdogs, you know, in terms of small trainers just having a go, then finished second and third and walked away with a lot of prize money, and they've had a great day.
Yeah. One of the greatest supporters and adverts for the sport has always been Patrick Mullins, I guess, as well. And just a quick touch on the horse over at Clonmel, maybe. I walked the line. I think he's on record saying he's always looking for the next bill away. That looks a very exciting horse over at Clonmel.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you know, some awesome horses over the water that, you know, come over here. Like last season's Fox Hunters winner was an Irish horse, and what an amazing horse. But he'd started his career in England, you know, winning bumpers, and had a really interesting route to the Cheltenham Fox Hunters. So, you know, we have to embrace everybody. At the end of the day, they're humans training horses, and humans and horses have stories, don't they? And sometimes there's a lot more to it than just, we can't just think, oh, they're coming pot hunting, or, you know, whatever reason there might be. I think we have to embrace them.
Yeah, I would implore people that haven't read it to go and look at Claire's article on the racingtv.com website. Just give us a brief synopsis of what you wrote.
So basically, within point-to-pointing, in my opinion, there are three types of participants from a rider's point of view. You've got your professionals that stay within pointing forever. Gina, obviously,
Yeah.
Izzy, and then James King, the Josh Newmans. They are, there are top jockeys. Will Biddick, who retired last week. You've got the professionals. They're very talented. Then there's we're very much the grounding for the young jockeys coming through, as we are young horses. Many of the top jockeys riding today, Ben Jones, Jack Tudor, Sean Bowen, they've all come through point-to-pointing. So we're very much the learning field for them. And then certainly you've got, the fun, the people who are doing it for their hobby. I wrote about a chap, John Morrie, who works for Tattersalls, and he's been riding in point-to-points 25 years and loves it, and it's his hobby. And there are so many of those, and a lot of girls working in racing, and even young lads that don't want to be a jockey. They just want to do it competitively and have some fun. And it's a sport that can include all of those angles. And quite often you can see those ones doing it for fun come out and beat the big boys. And, we like to include everybody. So, yeah.
Last thing, Claire, thank you very much indeed. Weather looking a little bit more favourable for the fixtures over the next few weeks or so?
Yes, we're going to really ramp up over the next couple of weeks. Next weekend, Reevesby in Lincolnshire, that's on Saturday. And then Sunday, Friars Hoff in Scotland. Also, say the rearranged Sheriff Hutton goes next Sunday. And yeah, we'll be, 3 meetings per weekend at least now. So yeah, hopefully really get going.
I think we need it. Claire, thank you very much indeed, and enjoy your Saturday afternoon.
Cheers, take care.